This is a free hour where we turn locked doors into open roads. I'm Trevor Turner, and I've lived on both sides of the wall. I built this space to show you that no matter where you've been, your story's not over. It's just getting good. This isn't just about motivation. This is transformation in real time. Welcome to your hour. Let's make it count. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the free hour. It's your boy Trevor Turner. We are back with another video. We are back with an exciting video, an amazing video. This is the first video in our Parole Paradise series, where we talk to people who've lived on both sides of the walls and they are doing something different and making major moves in their lives. A lot of different changes, a lot of different transformations, a lot of different achievements. And our first guest on the Parole Paradise podcast is my homeboy, Vincent Gonzalez. What's going on, man?
What's up with it, man?
So kind of give me an introduction to yourself, plug your social media, let them know what you do.
Okay, my name is Vincent Gonzalez. I'm actually a rapper, a gospel rapper, music artist. You can catch me on Instagram, Chet the Sick of Sin, Chet the Sick of Sin on TikTok, Vincent Gonzalez on Facebook. What I do is try to motivate people through our music, try to give a positive message, try to spread the gospel through our music. I also work with the Native American Student Support and Success Program at Bakersfield College, where I'm a peer mentor. We try to help people out, try to give people resources, and try to give back to the community that sometimes be overlooked, you know what I mean?
Awesome. So that's one of the things that's one of the reasons that I wanted Chet to be the first person that I spoke to for the Parole Paradise series, is not only because of the fact, he works right down the hall from me, because I work in the Rising Scholars program. He works for the Native program. They're literally right down the hall from each other. And we're going to get to this. That's not how we met.
No.
That's not how we met. So if you let them know a little bit of where you was at, man, because we're talking about, where you came from. If you want to start earlier than that, if you want to start from the beginning, you can.
Okay, I'll give you a quick little something from the beginning.
Let's get a quick little of what you had to go through to get where you are today.
Well, a little quick beginning. I was, my mom and dad were 15 years old when I was born, and they were into gangs and stuff. So basically, I was born into the gang. I was always around gangs since I was a little kid. Fast forward a little bit, 4th grade, my parents got locked up, so I went to go move with my grandma in Delano, California. That's when I I was doing good, straight A student, all the way until about 8th grade. Got a freshman year, then I started getting I got jumped into the gang. Then that's when everything got deep. I got heavy into gangs, got indoctrinated into the gang, kind of just let it take over my life, for about 10 years I was just deep into the gangs. But I always in the late 80s, I got introduced to something called gangster rap. And I loved it ever since I heard it. I loved it, and I just wanted to do it. I knew that I wanted to do that, and that's what I got into. I started doing music, but it was gangster rap with a negative. It kind of had a negative. I ain't gonna lie, it had a negative vibe to it. It was nothing really. It was nothing positive about it. It was just I was just rapping about the things that I was living through, and try to kind of low key get a street cred and stuff like that. You know how that goes.
So you was trying to get street cred. You was doing the gangster rap stuff, and then. Where did that lead you? Where did that lifestyle ultimately lead you? And the reason I ask is because a lot of us, especially growing up in situations like we grew up in, we idolize that dude that we became when we were living in the streets and doing the things that we were doing. But we don't, we always hear at the end, this is where you're going to go. These are results of it. But just to kind of bring that home, what were some of the results of what?
Oh, man, At first, the gangster rap, it was kind of good. I had a song that went viral, with some guy from the Bay Area. It went viral. I started touring the United States. It was kind of good or whatever, until I got caught a case, and they ended up using that against me. So I automatically had a gang enhancement. So I was looking at a lot of time, and it actually that's what got me in jail. They would have. For the gun, it would have just been a ticket or whatever. But since they knew who I was, and I had that persona as a gangster rapper, and the influence around my community, that's what held me. So that gang enhancement stuck. So in 2015, I ended up taking the charge of. They dropped the gun charge, They dropped all the other charges. They just kept the gang enhancement, and that ended up biting me on my next case that I caught.
Okay, so even the gangster rap, so even the rapping, like, and I know a lot of people see that as like a positive outlet for people who live that lifestyle, but even the rap was like something that kind of got you caught up with everything that was going on.
Yeah.
So you're doing the rap thing, you're catching cases and stuff. So you went to where? Jails, prisons? How did that go?
Well, like in the beginning of my career, I was like, when I was youngster, I was always in and out of the county, every time, like just violations. Never really went to prison. I somehow I always avoided it. Until I think it was 2015, I finally got my first prison term. I went to Wasco prison, did a little turnaround, whatever, and I didn't like it. You know what I mean? At that time, I was already married. I already had 3 kids, and I was already I was like, I wanted to do the family thing, but then I was doing the rap thing, and I was paying my bills at the time, so I was kind of stuck between a hard rock, you know. So it was I was trying to live up to my reputation as a gangster rapper, and trying to be a family man, and you can't mix those both. They don't mix. It's like water and vinegar. It's not gonna mix.
Yeah, they don't really go together. It's kind of hard to do that. And you know, even me, when I was doing my music thing, and I wasn't married, I wasn't a family man or anything like that, but trying to actually have any type of committed relationship while you're over there rapping about having all these women and stuff, it just don't work. It don't work, because even if you're not living that lifestyle to the fullest, the person you're with thinks you are, because they're like, well, why you keep rapping about this stuff if you're not doing it? And it's like, you can't just convince them that that's what sells all the time. So yeah, it doesn't mix. So you did your first prison term. You know, the stuff came to bite you on the ass with the gang enhancement stuff. So just to kind of wrap it on up and to get where we actually met, give us a little bit about this last little thing.
How we met?
How we met, and then we'll start to talk about where that leads you to today.
Okay. How me and Trevor met, we actually met in Kern County Jail, Laredo facility, pre-trial. I seen him there. He was there probably like 3 weeks before I actually talked to him because he was asleep. So I remember I seen him. I'm like, what's up, homie? He was my neighbor. I was like, what's up, homie? When'd you get here? Like, I've been here like 3 weeks. Like, what? Like, all right, cool. And then we ended up I noticed that he was really intellectual. And we started chopping it up, because I'm really into the Bible and stuff. And so we started chopping it up. We just right away, we just got along good. Because, in that environment, it's rare to get a good intellectual conversation with anybody. So we ended up knowing, and plus we're both doing music, so we just kicked it off real good, and that's how we met. At the time, Trevor was looking at a big case. He had got caught with some nice.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at life. And so, and it was some serious charges. We're both looking at serious charges. So we're not even thinking we're going to get out. But we're trying to make the best of our environment there. So that's what I was doing. And I was just, I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus. And at the time, that's all I had. That's my only scapegoat was the Bible. So I was focused into the Bible more and more and more, and positive things too, like self-help books, stuff like that. And I remember I had a book. It was a college textbook. It was about the journey of Saint. Was it Saint Paul?
It's Paul. Paul's his journeys, but the actual historical context of his journeys through the New Testament.
To make sure, it was about some guy. They were atheist dudes from Chicago, from somewhere, and then they were trying to prove that he didn't go to the places. But the more they looked into it, it proved that they were actually true, and they actually converted to Christianity afterwards. But it had some big, gigantic words that I couldn't really. I'm a good reader, don't get me wrong, but these words were hard. And Trevor used to just shoot it. He used to just, and I was like, man, you know how to talk, bro. You should do something about that. You should go back to school, or you should do something. And you're like, you know what, I am. So then Trevor started getting into his little journal and getting his little. That's how we first met.
So yeah, just to get a little context, when I had went, I think you were already been down at least over
about a year.
Over a year.
Over a year, yeah.
So when I went down, it was 2021, and I went down with something a little nice or whatever. I was looking at some more years, but I ended up being able to take a pretty good deal because of COVID. Everything's nonviolent, so they gave me my 4 years, 8 months, almost 5 years, and you only do so much percentage of it being nonviolent. So I got a good deal, but mind you, when I came in there, I was going through a lot of mental turmoil, a lot of emotional turmoil, a lot of spiritual turmoil, not really knowing which way to go, not really know what I wanted to do. And by the end of me leaving that county jail stay to go to the prisons, I had found my purpose. I had started reading to my cellie and started, reading the other books and stuff, like the textbook and everything to you, and started reading to everybody else. And I had found that I wanted to give back and go back to school. And I found my moment, my aha moment. I talked about this in another video. I found that moment that gave me that clarity that said, this is how I'm going to get to something else.
Right.
Because I already knew I wanted something else, right? And I think that's something that also you saw in me, because it's not only the intellectual conversation, it was the fact that I wanted something different and I wanted positivity.
Change.
And I think one of the reasons that helped me out was the fact that you already had found that moment in yourself. So break it down and let us know what that moment was for you when you realized not only, hey, I want something different, but you realize this is how I'm going to get to something different. Because you were already working on the gospel music. Yeah. You were already working on preaching. You were already working on prayer. You were already working on that stuff when I had met you. So what led to you realizing that that was going to be it for you and that was going to be the way?
What led me to God was, when I got locked up, I have a brother. I had a brother. He was the one looking out for me. He was the one getting stuff together, organizing fundraisers. That way I could get a lawyer, because I was looking at some serious charge. So we needed a lot of money for the lawyer. So my brother was getting things together, and I was putting all my faith in him. Basically, I was. So I was not even worried about it. My brother got this. And everybody was telling me, "Damn, your brother's working hard." But he ends up passing away, and then it broke me. But then I prayed, and I was like, "Oh, there it is. My brother's dead, so I'm cooked." I was like, "I'm cooked. I'm not gonna do nothing." But then I just prayed about it, and God told me in my mind. He just told me, like, "You want to get free? He's like, I'm gonna show you." Like, it was not him, it was me. Cause I had to put my trust in him. That's how I was gonna get out. So that's when I said, "You know what? I'm gonna start putting my trust in God." That's why I went full. I just went full into the Bible. And the Bible, once I got that Spirit, the Holy Spirit in me, the Bible started coming alive to me. Like, I would think about something in my head, like a problem that I had or whatever I was stressing about, and a scripture would come up and it would answer it for me. And and then I started reading the Bible like it was the actual Word of God, not reading it like it was a man-made book, but I was reading it like it was God talking to me, and that transformed my whole thinking. So when I started praying for people and stuff like that, and it started working. It was just like everything. I would pray for people that were coming off the streets. There was one time some dude, he was I don't know what was wrong. I think he had like what is that when your bones are all like arthritis or whatever, real bad. I prayed for him. The next day he was running up down the stairs. He's like, "Hey, órale, the paisa, órale, gente, look, I can talk." He started talking because he was from a cartel in Mexico called Los Zetas, and he was real into witchcraft and stuff. And he would have nightmares and about all kind of stuff like body parts. And he told me some crazy stories. But that was one of the miracles that God did. But from then I go, oh man, I knew God was real. He showed me, He revealed Himself. And my lowest point, He would reveal Himself through other people. Like people would come in, just like how I found out I didn't even know I was gonna come home. Remember you told me that I was going home?
Yeah. It was weird because I was over there in the COVID thing because I caught COVID.
Right.
I caught COVID. This is my second time catching COVID. It almost killed me this time.
Oh yeah.
I was over there. It was so bad, and JV will forgive me for this, but it was so bad that I would be up in my top bunk, laying down, and my head was hurting so much I would just be like whimpering and crying, and my bunkie was going through it so bad at the same time. He was on the bottom bunk crying and praying, and it was so bad. And mind you, we were both praying and stuff and reaching out to God, and like I would get these little things and I would write stuff down. Mind you, this is where a lot of these ideas came from for these videos and stuff, was when I was over there dying from COVID.
Yeah, I almost died twice.
And I was like, God is giving me ideas for videos. He's like, Parole Paradise. I'm like, I'm about to die. What are you talking about, Parole Paradise? And then another thing that he had me, you know, my 3 a.m, but I could actually stand up and keep water down. He was like, tell Chet that he's going home. And it was crazy because I came back over there and I told you that, and he was just like, when?
Yeah, right. Don't know if we played like that. I was hot too when you left. Like, motherfucker.
And I was like, no, but you going home, like, and I didn't know how soon it was
you
gonna
were
happen.
like, no, you told me you were like, not this court date, not this court date, but then you go this court date. I go, I didn't have court that day. And just when and then the next day you end up leaving, or like a couple days later you left after you told me that.
Yeah.
I think it was the next day you left.
Yeah.
They picked you up, the bus.
He came pick me up surprised, like they transpacked me out of
They
nowhere.
were not even transpacking nobody that time either.
Yeah, and they said they weren't transpacking nobody, but then they bring bags and I'm gone. And yeah, and it was just crazy. So, but let me ask you this though. So, knowing that, like that's a huge mindset shift though, to have to go through that, right?
Right.
To have to go into where you're looking at, okay, this is the actual word of God. It's not just a book. Okay, these people that I don't necessarily get along with or that are doing things that I don't necessarily agree with, I got to pray for them. Or like this person I don't really know that well, but I can see God in him. He tells me something and God is showing me stuff through him. What are some of the mindset shifts that get you to trusting God on that level, knowing that?
Oh, it didn't happen overnight. It was like I would even after he revealed himself to me a couple times. Like this is one of the main ones I remember. It was before court, and I had court, and I had been getting bad news. It just kept on getting worse. Like, oh no, they don't want to give you. You're gonna get life. The only deal you got is 25 to life, but they want to give you life without. So I'm like, man, it keeps on getting worse and worse. So I'm like, God, I know you're not supposed to do this, but I was like, show me a sign, you know, like show me that you're real. Right, so I'm and there's no way to do it because we're like in a dungeon, bro. We're in a gang unit, and it's COVID, so we don't get to go nowhere. So this is early in the morning, shackled up by myself, and we leave. They open the door to get on the bus, and it's not a cloud in the sky, right? So right when I get outside the thing, they're gonna put me in the bus. A big old lightning it lights up the whole sky. Even the guards are like, what was that? Because there was no cloud in the sky. And that was just a sign to me, like he's in charge. He showed me that got me through the day. And also, I had prayed that day. I go, Lord, please do me a favor and shake up the world today. And when I get back because when you go to court, they give you a newspaper because it's hard in the county, and especially in lockdown, everybody fights over the newspaper because there's only one newspaper for the whole unit. Yeah. And you can't get it, but when you go to court, they give you a newspaper. So I get my newspaper, but I didn't open it because I wanted to wait to read it because there's nothing to do. We were bored. So I was going to read it in my cell. Right when I opened it up, the front page, big earthquake happens in the Middle East somewhere, but it shake the world like a record. There was earthquakes all over. Yeah. And that wasn't a coincidence. God was showing me, like, don't worry about it. He's in charge. And then just how you had told me that you're going to go home. So that court date, nothing happened. And then from then I just started trusting him. Like, oh, he's all right. He was just trying to. He would always use, if not me, like it would be like. Some days I would be stressing because we didn't get to use the phone sometimes and have a wife and kids, and somehow I would be like, all right, I finally get to talk to my wife, and I'll be talking to my wife, and she's like, oh, look, a beautiful dove. And in the Bible, a dove is like represented as the Holy Spirit. Yeah. And my wife didn't know that either. She didn't know that. I didn't know that until I started reading the Bible. So like God would always show me signs through her, like show her signs, because she was going through it more than me. She was out. Yeah. She was hurting too. And I just still signs like that, and then it was weird. I started having, but at the end though, but right when I started trusting God, I would wake up so happy. Everybody was like, damn, there'll be people there like 6 months or like 90 days stressed out, crying, going through it, and I'd be like, damn, Vincent, why you always happy and shit? Like I don't know. Like,
I remember you would come to the cell talking about them. Like, man, you've been here for 3 months. I've been here for over a year. What are you crying about? And I remember even JV would be like, because JV would say that too, like, how are y'all both so positive? Like, we can't even come out the cell. Because mind you, not only were we in, the gang unit, whatever, slammed down and all that stuff, but we was on that COVID lockdown at the time. 23-hour-a-day lockdown.
Sometimes more.
Sometimes more. Sometimes multiple day lockdown. mind you, we were the only unit getting that, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Other units were getting more time out. We had to go on a hunger strike.
Yeah, just to get that. Yeah, we went through that. We did that.
Just to get the regular stuff. And and he would always comment like, how are y'all so positive? How y'all keeping your head up like that? And for me, it was because I had found purpose. That's
Right.
for me. And
Yeah,
I think for you, it was because like, you had given control to God. And that's another mindset shift that I wanted to ask you about. Like, knowing the level of power and influence you had in the streets, knowing who you were in the rap stuff, knowing who you were, with the family and everything like that, how were you able to come to that mindset shift to where you were able to relinquish that level of control of your own life to God?
I just gave it all. God don't want half of you. He don't want a part of you. You got to give it all. So basically, I just gave it all. Because it's rare. I mean, in jail, you can get killed for just preaching the word. They don't just let you do it. It's not supposed to be. It's frowned upon, but God was letting it happen, and I was doing it. And I was like, well, if they want to kill me because of that, then they're going to have to kill me because I'm not going to deny God over you. I fear God more than I fear man. And that's the first thing I had to do, was stop fearing what. It's because I was so indoctrinated of listening to what other person says, because it's like an army, it's like a military mind type things. Instead of, I just had to focus my mind on fear God, because God's the one that figure out. I wasn't even worried about this life anymore. I was happy ready to die already. I was so ready to die that I didn't care. Like I was just looking for one day I'm gonna die. It's on. I'm gonna go to heaven, So, and I've still got that kind of low-key got that mindset now. I don't want to die now, but I wouldn't mind it. No, I'm not afraid to die. That's what I lost. I stopped being afraid to die because that anxiety, that can kill you. That can kill you mentally. Just having fear.
Yeah.
And the fear that I have, the fear of God is not the fear like you fear a nightmare. A fear of God is more like a respect. I respect God so much that I wouldn't want to. If you knew God was real, why would you ever want to go against Him?
I feel that.
And that goes for any faith.
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
So I can see like letting go of fear, because a lot of times what happens is that the only reason that we go away from what we know we should do is because of fear of what other people are going to say.
Yeah, I got rid of that. Pride is a evil thing. You don't want pride. That's the first thing you got to do. I recommend is get rid of pride. Oh, look at this fool going to school being smart. Like what? Let's start off now. We're going to go to what happened. How did I get out?
Yeah.
Good. Well, look, this is just like how Trevor predicted it, or God told him. It's just how it happened. I don't know what happened really, but I just know there was a lot of new laws going on or whatever. One day, just like you said, I didn't have court. One day they go, Gonzalez, wake up, you got court. But I was a child server, so I was up. I'm like, well, I'm going to work. They're like, no, you're going to court. They're like, what do you mean I'm going to court? I'm not going to court today. Like, you're tripping. Like, no, you got court today. For real, I'm not playing. You got court today. Like, all right, got ready, going to court. And I'm like, hey, why am I going to court today? They're like, hey, my lawyer talks to me. He's like, hey, we're doing a motion trying to get you bail. Like, what? Bail? There's no bail. I don't have no bail. It's a murder charge. And anyway, we start, he goes, all right, I'm going to do a motion. So this whole time that I'm going to court, the prelim and all this, my lawyer's whooping the DA, but the judge is like not giving him. He don't care. The judge is not to say nothing. Well, I would just keep it real. Kern County is a racist county. Yeah. And the judge is a white dude, and he was racist. I just want to keep it real. He was not hearing. He didn't want to hear nothing. They knew all the detectives, everybody said it wasn't gang related. But he was like, oh, there's still probable cause. He was like, he even told me in my face, I want to drop it, but I'm not. And he just hit the gavel, and that was it. And but this time, it was another lady. It was a lady judge. She was white too, but you could tell she was more like.
She's different.
Yeah, she was different. She was not looking at me. She was not looking at me. She was looking at the inside. She just, she's seen a human being there. Yeah. And it just whatever the motion he did, and the cop looked over our paper like, why is he even here? Like. Whatever whatever motion they were doing, they granted the motion for bail. The DA said, nah, they canceled whatever they did. They tried to stop it, but whatever they were doing, she was denying them. It got to the point where everybody was cheering. People people that are like, we don't get along with, transsexual people. It was like a little bit of everybody cheering, everybody was like, what? Because you get, I mean, after going to court with these people for years and years, you need them. They know who you are. You're sitting next to them in court, so you know who the people are. And like a lot of people doing a lot of serious charges.
Yeah.
And everybody's getting denied. We ain't the only one. Everybody there is getting denied. There's nobody winning. So this is like a win, not just a win for me. It was a win for everybody that's inmate, black, white, Mexican. Everybody that day was one race, and we're all inmates. And everybody started cheering, and I got bail, and it was a miracle. And that night, I remember my wife picked me up. I got bailed out, and that's when it started. I got out, and I was just in shock. I was like, "What? Thank you, God!" And I just got out, and then I remember the first day going to church, I just broke down because I was like, "Man, I'm here." And they don't let us go to church when we're locked up. That's why I was doing my own sermons and stuff, because they wouldn't allow us to go. Not the homies, but the administration wouldn't let you, because whatever we were labeled as.
Yeah.
So I get out, and the first thing I'm like, I gotta go to work, because I gotta have to pay bills. This whole time but this is weird, because this is the only time that I ever been locked up that I never wanted for nothing. I was always getting blessed. People were sending me money. People that I wouldn't even least suspect were sending me money. But this is reality. I'm out. I'm free now. It's time for me to go to work. So I go to work, and the only thing, I'm from Delano, California, so all there is field work there. And that's all I know how to do it. So it's not that hard if you know how to do it, but it's hard because it's hot. And I know some guy from school. Anyway, I go to work for a couple weeks, and it's a trip because I was working out, but I would come home tired. So anyway, I go to work, and one day they call me, "Hey, bro, there's not going to be no work tomorrow." I go, "What do you mean there's going to be no work tomorrow?" "Oh, there's not no work." And then I call everybody else, and they're like, "Hey," I go, "You going to work?" They go, "Yeah." And so I guess they only laid me off. I'm like, "Why? What the month?" So I'm like tripping, like, why they letting me rate him? And I'm like, "Oh, that's weird. Like, I don't know why they laid me off." I'm like, "What? That's trip." So I'm like, whatever. So I just got a thought in my head: go back to school. Why not? Because I would always have, as a kid, I would always have like a dream, nightmares that I'm late for school, because I always regretted that I didn't finish school because I was real good at it. So one day I just I enrolled online. No, I walked in. I went to Delano campus, like boom, got a couple classes, anything, nothing of it. I did it, liked it, got a good grade. And then fast forward a little bit, I was applying for scholarships or something. And I see a Native American student, because I'm a Native American, I'm Yaqui. So I just filled it out, and it said something about a free trip to a Pachanga casino, whatever, a resort. And boom, I signed it. I thought it was a joke. Then I called, and they're like, "Hey, I go, is this real? About this resort trip, whatever, for free?" Because at the time I wasn't even working. I was like, I was all stressed out. And then anyway, but I went on that trip, and then I signed for it, whatever. And then I pull up, and guess who I see?
Yeah.
Trevor. And we ended up being in the same hotel.
Yeah, in the same room. Yeah.
In Mindus County, we can't be. I mean, due to politics and all that, we can't saddle up together or whatever. But we saddled up in a sweet ass hotel.
At Pachanga
Casino in Temecula, California. And then from there, I met my now boss, Johnny now, and we got along right away. Started chopping it up, so we got along. I ended up getting a job here at the college. Trevor's already working here, mind you. And from then, I just fell in love with with education. I just fell in love with it. I just started started excelling. I started getting straight A's. I got a double, instead of one major, I want to do double majors, so I did sociology and psychology. So that's what I'm doing now. That's where I'm at right now. Me and him just graduated this last Friday. We graduated.
Yeah, just graduated on Friday.
Yeah. So that was a great accomplishment. And now that I did that, don't get me wrong though, it was hard. There was days where I was taking 5 classes, and it was hard. But and juggling a wife, kids, job, but if it wasn't for this, I think it was all the Rising Scholars program and the NAS program that are here at the college. With them, we did it, and it was. That's why I encourage everybody to go back to school, man. If you guys think it's not possible, it is. If I did it, 43-year-old man that was locked up, and I did it, you can do it. Imagine if I would have started younger, where would I be at now? So that's why I encourage everybody just to keep on going. My goals and aspirations is to be a doctor. We'll get my doctorates now. Well, I'm gonna get I got my associates already in sociology, psychology, and liberal arts. Then I'm gonna transfer to US CSUB, God willing, and I'm gonna get my bachelor's and master's. It's like a new program where you get both. And then from there, sky's the limit. And then also, So I was always like I would always go through, like, I do music now. I always did music, but I would always did like merchandise, whatever. But through a third party, and they would always like, they didn't want to do it good for me because low-key hating, they didn't want to do it. So I finally said, you know what? I'm gonna get my own equipment. So my dad bought me some. My dad did me a favor. He bought me some equipment to start making shirts. And I thought about it, like, you know what? I don't know how I thought about it. I think it had to be God. But I got my own LLC, so now I got my own Sick of Sin. I got my own record company / clothing line, Sick of Sin Records. So I'm doing my own clothing line. I do my own, and then I got my own music record. You know, check to see on Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff. You can check me out. Got some good. It's Christian music, but don't get it twisted. It's still slap. And then what else we got going on? Oh, I also work with Next Level Intervention out of Tulare County. We do a lot of awareness of gang prevention. We do drug prevention. We're fighting right now. The big thing in our community is fentanyl, and that's what we're trying to stop. We're trying to stop that from invading our city. You know what I mean? So that's what we got going on.
So you said you're working with, what's the name of for the fentanyl?
Next Level Intervention.
Next Level Intervention. So what are some of the things that y'all do in the community to help? Because I know fentanyl is a huge, it's especially here in Bakersfield right now. Like, so what are some of the things that y'all do to kind of help people, you know?
What we do is we get the information out there. We let you guys know. First, we get pamphlets and let everybody know what, because a lot of people are migrants. A lot of people don't know what it is, or just people just don't know what it is. So we let people know what it is. Fentanyl is everywhere now. You know, it's even in weed now. Yeah. So first of all, with information, we gotta let people know what it is, how it is, and where it is. It's everywhere now. So we gotta get people, let people know. I mean, that it's there. And also, there's people that do it. They know it's it. They want to do it. So we got to get the people. We got to help them. We're not only helping the people that are not on it, but we're going to help the people that are on it. So, you know, I work with Next Level Intervention, works with Victory Outreach. They're all over the United States. You know, we get people in the men's and women's homes. So we try to get people sober. But the thing is, we can't force you to go to like if you have family that wants to go get help, they got to want to get help. We can't force them. And a lot of times they don't want it. Like if a mother or father or somebody or a brother tells them, they're not going to listen. But if I tell them, a stranger shows support and shows that I care, 9 times out of 10 they will listen. So that's what you got to do, is just show the people that you care. Show the people that there's a way. And they relate with me because I was a drug addict before. You know, I'm sober now, but before I was a drug addict. I was do it whatever. So I can show them how it is, and show them how, you know, my brother overdosed on fentanyl, my mom overdosed on fentanyl. You know, so I show them how close it hit home. And show them that we can break this, you know.
The cycle can be broken.
Yeah, exactly.
That's definitely something I go through every day. You know, having those lingering thoughts, those lingering feelings that just try to come back every now and again. But I feel like for me, the cycle is broken. Like that stuff is just stray thoughts now. It's not.
Yeah, it's nothing big.
It's not as big as it used to be. So let's do this. I'm gonna ask you. Let's kind of take it back and break it down on how you do this. Well, first of all, you say you want to get the doctorate, right?
Yeah.
So what do you want to do with the doctorate? You want to come back into education? You want to go into community work? What's the goal after you become Dr. Gonzalez? What do you want to do as Dr. Gonzalez?
As Dr. Gonzalez, I just want to maybe just open up my own nonprofit. You know, that's my goal, to have my own nonprofit. That way I can help the community, can find ways. And I also, this is what I really wanted to do was with the Sick of Sin Records, is open up like a workshop. That way I can show people, like if they either want to do music, show them how to record music, show them how to make music, write music. If that's not their lane, then they can make clothes. If they don't want to make clothes, then they can do photography, stuff like that. You know, I just want to have the resources, and with that doctor's behind my name, people will take me serious. People will know, you know, oh, this is the guy, the doctor. Oh, yeah. That's because the nonprofit, they're not going to give it to anybody. People are not going to respect it, especially the community, especially the name that I had before. You know, I was a rapper, Chet. Oh, he's a famous Norteño gang member, rapper, whatever, gang leader, whatever, the notorious, whatever he was.
Yeah.
So basically, with that doctor, it's not only for the people, it's for me to know that transformation is possible. And you know, me, I still sometimes it's kind of hard. I forgive everybody, you know, because God tells you to forgive everybody, but it's kind of hard to forgive myself. That's the hardest thing. So every day sometimes I'll get memories, or sometimes one of my homies from back in the day would, hey, remember when you did this? Like, I don't want to remember that. Like, why would you say that?
Why would you bring that up?
Yeah, just because they're weird, they're haters.
Yeah.
And it's not really them. They don't think nothing about it, but the devil uses other people to get you. Because that's what he wants you. Hey, He don't want us to change. He wants us to be back to the way we were.
So going back to that, let's kind of break it down. So you said you hit the ground running coming out. You immediately started coming back to work, and then you had a little bit of obstacle, a little bit of a setback, but you used that setback to springboard into something new. So what are some of the challenges, the early challenges or setbacks that you had in this change, like when you got out, beyond just that particular one?
Oh, one of the setbacks was money, because before, you know, I was always used to having money, fast money, you know. I was not used to working hard. I'm gonna keep it real. I would jump in the game. I would, if I didn't have no money, I would sell dope or somehow there was a way to make money. I was always trying to make money. So what I had to do was humble myself and try to make legit money. That's what I did. I went back to I was like, man, why am I in the fields over here? Everybody here don't have no, I had already had a diploma and everything. I was like, why am I here? And I'm over here, and they're treating me like shit. You know, I'm over here working good, and they're just picking on me because I know English. So that's how it is in the field. If you know English, they're gonna pick on you. You know, it's a hierarchy just like everything else. So I would have to I just thought about it, like, what am I doing here? Just 10 years from now, I'm still gonna be picking these berries or whatever. I'm like, no, this got to change. I'm over here wasting I'm wasting away. So why not go back to school? And nobody really. I would always, like, here and there. I remember I took a couple classes here and there, but I didn't really think nothing of it. Like, I just did it just to do it. But this time I actually did it. And once I realized that, at first I was like, I got a couple credits, but then I started getting deeper and deeper, almost going to graduate. And then I just got, okay, let's do this.
And then you just graduated.
Now I just graduated. I can't believe it.
That's crazy for me too, because I said it as a joke to somebody in the office, but I was like, yeah, man, it's the first thing I've ever finished in my life.
You feel me?
And then I was like, I took a step back and I had to realize, no, wait, this actually was. I mean, beyond prison terms and discharging parole and, discharging probation and stuff like that, this is the first thing that I've ever finished in my life, because I didn't finish high school.
Yeah, I didn't. I got my high school equivalency in job corps. The only reason I went to job corps is because I was going to go to prison. And that was my grandma somehow talked to my probation officer, and they let me go to job corps instead of prison. And that was the year 2000.
And I got my GED when I was like 16. I got it in juvie and shit.
Right.
So now that we've known some of the accomplishments, we've known some of the bigger scale accomplishments, we know some of the larger scale goals, we know some of a lot of the stuff that you're juggling around. So breaking it down, what are the new habits, routines, and skills that you have intentionally developed to help you get, like, on a day-by-day basis, to help you get to where you're at now?
One of my habits is not being lazy. One of my habits is always staying. I always have a small, at least, not you don't want to make too big of a goal, but you always gonna have a small goal that you're gonna make. Maybe during the week, you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I got this week I want to do some of these shirts. This week I want to make a couple songs. I'm dropping a song. Matter of fact, a song drops tonight. Chant C, Happy, it's a good song. It's gonna be dropping tonight. Spotify, iTunes, all that drops tonight. 12 midnight. Check that out. You know, I try to get. I want to drop I drop at least one single or two singles a month for the rest of my life. God willing. I'm trying to drop at least one song. That way I can keep not only my music sharp, but as well as I just want to keep it going, because it's easy to rap about dope and about drugs, but when you're trying to rap about something positive, it's not easy. Rapping about God is hard, so I just want to make sure that I just keep on adding to my catalog, because in the music industry now, there's no more CDs or hard copies, so you gotta accumulate music. It's all about content. So you want to just stay consistent, keep on dropping. This is my advice to anybody new in the rap game. You got to keep on dropping music. You got to keep on dropping it, because it adds up. After a while, it seems like it now. If you just want to drop one single and think that's it, you're not gonna get no money. There's pennies in it. But once you get like 20, 30 songs, you'll get a little something. It'll be enough. It'll come in. It's not gonna come in overnight, but it's gonna come in, and it's gonna be there for the rest of your life. So that's what you got to do. Just set small goals, and even if just don't stop making excuses. Oh, why? Well, you better get there. You better do that. Just do it. And even and another thing too, health as well. So you want to get up and go to the gym. I mean, I'm older. I don't go to the gym every day, but I try to go at least 3-4 times a week, even if it's not nothing major. You want to get that, because I feel, especially before a test, you get a good workout in before a test. Your mind's clearer. You feel better about yourself. And that's a small thing that just keep on just keep on going forward. Don't go back. Whatever you do, and if you slip up, I know people slip up out there. People will drink or people will smoke. Don't beat yourself up over it so much. Just pick yourself up and get back on. You know what I mean?
Definitely got to pick yourself back up. So you told us about some of the stuff you're working on. You definitely told us about your passions, how they fulfill you. But what motivates you to keep moving forward and growing?
Just my kids, my wife and kids. God, really, man. God is just pushing me forward too. As far as my brother too, the legacy my brother had it going on. He had it comes to show you. My brother had his own barbershop. He had his businesses, own houses, but he was missing something, and it must have been God. It was like you could have money, but money is not everything. You gotta have God. With your God in your life, you can do it all. Like before, I would always try to do things that I couldn't do it. But now that I got God, I pray about it, and it always comes through, no matter what. So you gotta have faith, and you gotta have confidence, not only in yourself but in God. Because God, if you have confidence in God, that's all that matters. Because He can make it happen. Without God, you can't do it. I'm telling you. I tried it before. I'm telling you, all these years of my life, it would go good for a while, but somehow it would go bad because I'd put my trust in man. Like say, maybe I'll put my trust in somebody managing my music, and it will go good, but somehow you find out they're scheming off the top. Or you're in the game selling dope. You're doing real good, but you're doing so good you can't stop selling by yourself, so you start getting workers. And some of your workers are going to fall off, and then you end up owing the money. So at the end of the day, you got to put your trust in God. Put your trust in yourself as well, and just keep on moving forward. Just do something positive though. All that rap and all that gang and all that drug stuff is for the birds, man. Go to school. The gym money is way better. Whatever your big homies told you, they're lying, because they're not happy. Nobody's happy in prison, and all that macho stuff is out the door. That's real. I mean, that's the only advice I could give you.
So what do you think, out of all of those lessons, what do you think the most important lesson that you learned from your journey so far is?
My most important lesson was put your trust in God. Because without God, nothing is possible. And with Him, everything is possible. You just got to put your trust in God, bro, and everything's going to go good. Promise you that. Even when things are bad, it's for the good. Like sometimes I was so, like He would close doors and I'd be like, why, God? Like, why? But then again, later on, when you see what He did, and He opened up a better door for you. So just know whatever's in that book is true. Just hold on to that, and you'll be all right. No matter how bad the situation, it could be worse.
Definitely, it'd definitely be worse. Like a lot of times you really gotta take a look on the bright side of stuff, because you're still living, you're still breathing, you still got use of your body, you still can make a choice, you still can turn a different way, and a lot of people don't got that no more.
Right.
I remember it was something that you had told me when we were doing the Second Chance Month video. And you said the reason that second chances are so important to me is because there are people behind the walls who will never get a second chance.
Right.
If you got a second chance, if you even have the opportunity for it, be grateful for it, because there are people who will never have that. There are people in the ground already who will never got
exactly.
that.
Even if you're in jail, you still have a chance. But there's people that died. People that you lose your life. Saw them people that are hooked on fentanyl, the people that get murdered every day. They're gone. That's it. There's no other chance. And then some people that are not right with God. Get right with God before anything. The most important thing is get right with God, because at the end of the day, everybody's gonna have to meet the Creator face to face, and you're gonna have to answer for your stuff you do, and take that. That's real. No matter what religion or what faith you're on, at the end of the day, everybody agrees that you're gonna have to answer for the stuff you do, and how you go about it is on you. Me, I gotta preach Jesus, because that's what helped me. And I recommend it, because as far as the Bible says that I am forgiven, and I'm forgiven. I feel forgiven. I couldn't. All the stuff I did, man. It's kind of hard to feel forgiven, but I am. That's the beauty of it.
What moment made you really know that you were forgiven, to where you could feel it deeply that you were forgiven, instead of carrying around all that guilt?
Oh, it happened in jail. When I was locked up, I was by myself, and I caught the Holy Ghost. I started laughing and crying at the same time, and I just felt forgiven. It was like a big old burden. I started, what I do, I started remembering everything, like flash, all the things I did was flashing in front of my head, everything, and I just gave it all up, and I just said, even if, Lord, I go, Father, forgive me for the sins that I did against others, against you, and the ones that I do not know. And it was a big old just burden off my chest. And I still, don't get me wrong, I still get attacked. Don't think that once you give your life to God, you're not going to get attacked. You're going to get attacked. There's going to be doubts. There's going to be, oh, you're not forgiven. Oh, no, that's not real. God is not real. Because they're going to be, this world is always against, it's always against Jesus. Like, oh, no, he didn't really happen. Oh, no, he wasn't really the man of God. He didn't come. But there's history. If you really want to dive deep, there's like scientific facts that he was there and all that. But that's not neither here or there. I don't even, you could show me something, I can see with my own eyes and I still won't believe it. I'll still believe God what's in my heart more than that. You know what I mean? Because now they got AI and all that. So now you just got to believe what's in your heart and you just got to keep moving forward. That's all it is.
So, knowing that you just got to keep believing, keep moving forward, you got to have goals, like you said before, you got to have passions, you got to have something that you're trying to do. And I think one of the most important lessons you talked about was trusting God. But then also, one of the most important things that I think you found was giving control up to God also.
Yeah.
Putting the faith in God instead of in other people or the things that we're used to. Knowing all of this stuff and how they all combine and they all came together to make kind of that like perfect combination of, motivation, that perfect combination of confidence, perfect combination of faith, of love, of everything that brings you to where you're at now. What's some advice for people who might feel stuck or locked in to old stuff and they want to change their lives too, but they're like trying to find that same perfect combination of stuff that helps them go for it? What's some advice that you would give them to help them find their
peace?
To find their peace.
My advice is you got to listen to your heart. You got to just, like I said, first give it to God and that's it. And you got to stop. First thing you got to do is get rid of your pride. Because I always get inboxes, I'm not going to put nobody's name out there, but these are people that are hardcore, supposedly hardcore, whatever. And they inbox me. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to say something stupid. But they're like, no, Trip, I want to. So can you pray for me? I want to give myself to God, but I'm afraid, I'm ashamed. Stop being ashamed of God and be ashamed how you're living now. You know what I mean? Who cares what the people say? Who cares what people think about you? If you really in your heart want to give yourself and you want to change. Nobody's going to tell you nothing. You know what I mean? It's only when you change and you go back to your own vomit, that's when it gets bad for you. Because people are not going to respect you. They're like, oh, this was all, he's hiding behind God. You know what I mean? That's dangerous. Don't do that.
Yeah. It's got to be real.
You got to be real. Don't fake. Don't go half-step it, though.
Yeah, don't half-step it. You can't.
But keep busy. That's what you got to do.
That's one of the things I found for me is keeping busy, to be honest. But
not too busy, though. You don't want to get too busy, because that's vicious, too. This semester almost broke me. I was so busy.
For me, it was last semester because I was doing not only a lot of classes, but I was doing a lot of stuff on the side. I'm doing the student government stuff.
Right.
I'm doing Umoja. I'm doing A2MEND. I'm doing NASP. I'm doing all of this other things. I was, working in counseling. I was working in RSP, and I was just like, no. It's too much.
That's too much on your plate.
I had to cut off a bunch of stuff to find that good balance, because I'm like at the point where I wanted to just fill my life with so much of this stuff that I was finding, all this positive stuff, and I'm just trying to fill my life with it, and even that comes with a balance.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Even that comes in moderation, because you got to find what you're capable of, and don't throw so much on yourself that you're going to fall.
Yeah, exactly. Like me, when I really got out, or even now, I always feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm always stressed out, like I need to go help the people, I need to go feed the homeless, or I need to go preach the gospel on the streets every day. And I'm trying, but like sometimes I try to do events, I try to make events come through, but it just don't happen. You just gotta have patience. Like I just did an event not that long ago at my city in Delano. We gave away, it was like almost 1,000 people. We gave away free tacos, we gave away a lot of raffles and stuff like that. But it took years for just to do that. That was the first of its kind. Right off the gate, I wanted to start doing it, but you just can't jump into it, because you gotta there's ways to do it. It's not easy. But we gotta put you in the right path. Like just like us, we're trying to do. How long we trying to do this podcast already?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
And we couldn't do it though.
Could not do it. Could not get out the way.
We're not ready yet.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too. I think
We thought we were ready, but we weren't. Our story wasn't over yet. And we didn't have enough. Now that we graduated,
now that we saw that we could do it, instead of just, I think for me too, it was the same, because it was like, I'm doing so much and I got so much coming my way, but at the end of the day, it all feels like,
Yeah, I heard you.
until I finally was able to finish something.
you feel me? We did it.
We
We did
did
that. We were in jail, and bro, this us being here is a miracle, bro.
Yeah.
And then, there's more to it. Like we can make a movie about this, just about this little cool little incident, all the little characters we had, and it's not over yet. This is just the beginning.
It's just the beginning, this first chapter.
That's our first. We'll do an update pretty soon. We'll keep it cracking, more stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah, because it's crazy.
I still gotta go to court.
Yeah.
But I already have confidence in God that this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you gotta do is confidence. Get rid of that fear. No, I think God let us do this. God let us do this today because I needed it, because I had a little bit of doubts in my head, but a little bit of anxiety towards whatever's going on with my legal actions. But this venting, us just talking about this and finally doing the podcast that we did, this is a little bit of God telling me that you're going to be all right and you're ready. That's how I feel.
You're ready to actually start this journey.
Now grab your nuts.
So yeah, man, had to change out the battery real quick, but just so we could do this little quick, say goodbye and everything. But yeah, I definitely believe that there was a reason that we were able to get this done today. I appreciate you so much for joining us, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Chente C, Sick of Sin, on Instagram, Sick of Sin Records.
TikTok.
Vincent Gonzalez on
Vincent Mike Gonzalez on Gonzalez on Facebook.
all right. And then what was TikTok again?
Chente C, Sick of Sin.
Chente C, Sick of Sin. So thank you once again for watching. Leave a comment on the video. Like the video if you like the video. This has been Parole Paradise. This is where we talk to people who have been on both sides of the walls, but they are not promoting negativity. They're promoting things like they're promoting change. They're promoting new directions, new trajectories, just like how the free hour does. So here's a question I want you to ask yourself today. What's one step you can take today towards positive change? After you've heard all of this story, after you've heard where he's come from, a little bit of where I'm come from, and I'm going to give my own episode of Parole Paradise, maybe a series of them where I talk about my own life, my own history, my own story. Might have Chet be the one to kind of lead that conversation, just like I led this one.
Amen.
And you'll see that just one step, one habit, one thought, one feeling is enough to carry you to brand new heights, to take you from being somebody's neighbor in a county jail to graduating together, walking across the same stage, working down the hallway, both falling in love with education, not only for ourselves, but for other people. One thought, one feeling, one idea, that's it. What's one step you can take today towards positive change? Like I said, if you like the video, leave a comment for us. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Go ahead and check us out. Thank you for watching. That's been your hour. All right? Deuces.
Peace.